afternoon. It's been frustrating, no doubt, for the players. The rain has not let up, but the fans have not moved. More than 6,000 in. We've cracked 50,000 fans over the 4 games of this history-making season. And it's going to come down to the last quarter for the D's and the Lions. Out of the centre they go. Here's Paxman. Handball's over the top, a little fumble in the wet. We've seen that so often today.
Well, it's his game on now, isn't it? It's
bucketing down.
Yeah, and it's bucketing down, but it's, gee, there's going to be a lot of hard-fought contests here in the next 15 minutes.
So Pearce and Goodman, neither can win it. Going in hard is Paxman. Just get the feeling, guys, that Paxman will have a real say in this last quarter. She's so experienced. She's the best gut runner going round. She'll run and run all day. So keep an eye out for number 4 for the D's. Hurried kick, comes into the forward line. Meeting it well with Pearce, spinning. Oh, she's caught. That's holding the ball.
Great tackle.
So a huge tackle there from Bree Conan. Setting the tone in this last term for the Lions. It's tough going out there. The mark from Wushner. Former Tassie girl, puts it on the left, out in front of Bates. How does it sit? She does well to pick it up, get down low, an awkward half volley, unable to pick it up. Downey's backing back, tackled. In fact, it was Pearce playing in the ruck for the D's. And she's been pinked here. So it'll be a free kick almost directly in front for Brittany Gibson. Great tackle applied by Gibson. Can she extend the Lions' lead and put them out by 9? It's through.
There's the Lions again, capitalising when they've had an opportunity in the forward 50. I mean, they're a chance of winning this game purely because they're getting goals on the board.
So Brittany Gibson, a great tackle. And one of them, life's of the party, a real character of this team. Great celebration, and this is the biggest lead of the afternoon now. The Lions by 9 points.
We spoke to Mick Stanier on radio this morning, and it was his comment that the team that can be the best efficient scorers will win. And I don't think we're seeing that from the Demons today, and I think he'll be quite disappointed in that.
Well, they will be, because they've had 5 more inside 50, so they've had their opportunities.
And that might just prove to be a match-winning tackle by the 24-year-old from Tasmania. Here we go again in the centre, and the Lions maybe, just maybe lifting. Bates hurries the kick out to the eastern wing. It's a foot race. Getting there first is Lily Mithen. A little toe poke. The umpire's blown his whistle and it's coming back. Maybe she was dealt with harshly.
Katie, you know a few of the Melbourne leaders really well. Who do you expect to step up in this last quarter and get the job done?
We've talked a lot about, you know, your Daisy Pearce and your Kaz Paxmans, but Elise O'Day, the one with the footy right now, she's really good at stepping up in high-pressure situations, as we see Daisy contesting the footy. Obviously, Melissa Hickey, and they've got a broad range of leaders within that Melbourne team. So, you know, those 2 or 3 will be stepping up, but you would hope that the whole team, you know, comes to the party as well.
So slips through the fingers of Hickey. They pile on a tangle of arms and legs. Rain just keeps getting heavier. So high drama for this last game at the opening round. We've seen thunder, we've seen rain, we've seen just about everything, a break in play.
These conditions don't get any tougher. It's as simple as that.
So 12 minutes to play. Brisbane Lions out by their biggest lead, 19. The D's led by 3 at quarter time. Brisbane by 2 at half time, and at 3/4 time they led by 3 points. 3 goals to 1. Here goes a hurried kick. Under the pump for the Lions there was Hildebrand, but she played it well.
Danny, what would you be telling the players in this situation?
Look, you need territory. And if you're Melbourne, you need to keep the stoppages open. And if you're the Brisbane coach, keep it in tight and just get yardage and don't do anything foolish. But for Melbourne, they need to keep these stoppages open somewhat and really try and get some run and carry and length with their disposal. It's as simple as that. You probably need a key post at centre forward and a key post at full forward. Give the running players from Melbourne something to hit, because They just need to just get the ball continually inside forward.
Oh, O'Day has a crack from the boundary, and why not, on the outside of the boot, but misses everything. There's Lily Mithen, the 18-year-old.
Smallest player.
Smallest player out there.
She's got the biggest heart, little Lil. Star.
I'm not sure that was the smartest option. I think maybe putting that at the top of the square, giving the Melbourne forwards a chance.
So they continue to put their bodies on the line. Hickey, ball in her hands, fires it out on all fours. Mithen.
I've been really impressed with Melbourne and the way that they're just popping the football out. They're making sure that they don't have too many stoppages, and they're just willing themselves to tap the footy along and get it out to their teammate.
Berry goes without it, and then Daisy's tackle, dispossessed, umpire Flight throwing his arms up to say play on. Here's Taylor Harris, has had little impact. Had to pass a fitness test on an injured shoulder on Thursday to get in, and these conditions really haven't suited her. And that mark lands on the chest of Downey.
It's very difficult for a big forward, high-marking forward, to impact on a night like tonight.
And you do really, you know, depend on the supply. And as we can see, the game's being played in one half at the moment, and that's really tough to be behind the football. And you know, for those high half forwards, it's a really tough day out.
Is this a bit of a legitimate shock now? If Brisbane, there's still time for Melbourne, but it looks like Brisbane are going to win. Is this a big shock?
Yep.
It's a shock, but I don't think any of us knew what was going to happen round one, because every team is new. Yep. We don't know what's happened over the summer. We only know in our own teams how we've trained, what we've done, what the structures are.
I think Brisbane Lions have been really underrated. I mean, because, you know, we haven't seen much of them. They played their practice match up in Brisbane against the Giants. We know about Harris and Frederick Traw, but really we don't know a lot about their other players. So Zilke, the captain, slips through her fingers. O'Day's really lifting in this last term, trying to get involved. That was a kick from Lutkins. Bates. And it'll be tossed back in with 8 minutes to go, narrowly on the boundary.
Just a bit of an injury concern for Brisbane. The goal kicker from earlier this game, Shannon Campbell, has just limped off. It looks like she's getting her ankle looked at the moment, but I'll keep you posted.
Comes back in. It was Mifsud having a flying swing, a bit of an air swing. Tough contest there. Berry tackles. Hickey eyes for the ball. Can she pick it up? Just tries to flick it out to her teammate in Duray. And then a kick coming in.
Lily Mithen's lifted. She probably, it's her time to shine. She's a small player, so, you know, the ball's going to be on the deck a bit more, but she really has, and it's great to see.
One thing's for sure, we're going to get the closest margin of the opening round.
That's true.
I've just had a couple of texts come through from some people that aren't very happy from the Darebin Football Club because of my mistake. We have 16 players that have been drafted, not 8.
Sadie Brennan, the first lesson as a commentator is you've got to do your research. But we'll forgive you on the spot.
I probably did throw you under the bus.
I did, guys.
We'll forgive you.
I think
you've had a big 24 hours.
You thought I meant in this game. I'm sure of it.
Yes. Exactly right.
So here's Ashmore. She's usually clean with possession, does well in the wet, gets it out of the danger zone. Smith, the toe poke off the ground. And now a free ball loose on the broadcast wing. Hunt goes at it. Should have been a free, maybe taken high. And the umpire does see that, and he does pay the high, and it will go the way of Hunt.
If you were Brisbane in this situation, you would milk this clock as much as you could. And I think we're seeing Hunt do that, not taking away from the high contact.
Her nickname is Kevy Mitchell because she's a greenskeeper and wants to be a curator at the Gabba one day. Current curator is, of course, Kevin Mitchell. So it's an interesting nickname, Danny. Kevin.
Should be looking for the super stopper at the moment.
You've been on fire today. Love it. 6 minutes to go. This is intense pressure.
Katie, what's the pressures of being a marquee player of the new league? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I guess you have that external pressure, and you also have the pressure that you put on yourself. You know, I guess for me, going out there last night, I just wanted to do the best that I could, and I just had a bit of a vision of going in and having a lot of fun with my teammates. Some people, you know, might feel that differently. I know I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform as well. But it's just, you know, getting past the big crowds and getting past the fact that it's on television now and just going out there and playing footy like you usually do.
And how does it come about being a marquee player? How does it come about? The AFL, did they call you up and say,
yeah,
one of the marquees?
So the process at the start was, I guess, an initial conversation between the club, the AFL and the player and where that player might want to either move to or stay. So, you know, I had my heart set on the Western Bulldogs.
Oh, Taylor Hunt's collected Mithen high, and Mithen almost decapitated like Aaron Phillips yesterday in Adelaide. Sorry about that, Katie.
No worries. Yeah, I had my heart set on the Bulldogs from day one and definitely wanted to stay there, but we've seen some, you know, some girls like Sabrina and Taylor Sabrina and some of the WA girls that have moved into state, and they would have had that conversation and moved from there.
As you can see, the clock's not stopping. The only time the clock will stop now is a goal. So what Brisbane need to do, just get repeat stoppages in Melbourne. Unfortunately, they've just got to take the game on because, as we can see, the clock less than 5 minutes. And Brisbane, they just need to keep territory and keep the ball inside their forward 50. But Melbourne, they just need to take risks now. And I didn't mind that switch. They need to get the ball through the corridor as quickly as they can.
And that'll come from their captain, Emma Zilke, as well, just to play tempo footy.
What's happened here? Is that a 50? A 50's been
that's
paid.
Second.
So as the game Scott,
Very undisciplined. That's not acceptable.
and it's going to take Kate McCarthy
Well, in these
all the way to
conditions-
within scoring distance here, Danny.
Well, in these conditions, they're going to get 2 of their 4. Hopefully, she kicks truly from there. 2 of their 4 goals from 50 metres. So you take them out, the game's even. So, yeah, the coach will be pretty disappointed in those 2 efforts.
So a chance here for Kate McCarthy, former ex-Aussie touch player. Should be in Sydney playing for the Sydney Sevens. Instead, maybe the knee buckler at Cranbourne. The Brisbane Lions now out to a 15-point lead, and it makes life tough for the D's.
I think that's a terrific story. I mentioned earlier that Kate McCarthy has a pacemaker. That's a huge thing to have, and then go and play an elite sport. I just think she should be really proud of herself. She's particularly fast, and she's a school teacher.
So it was Scott, the dairy farmer from Colac, who gave away that 50.
Made her earn it too.
And 4 minutes to play. This is almost mission impossible now for the Demons. They came in as the overwhelming favourites against Brisbane. And they've got a real challenge ahead of them now. Goodman out of the ruck. Gets the handball away to McCarthy. A bouncing ball. They've got a real sense of purpose now and a spring in their step, the Brisbane Lions. Less than 4 minutes to play. Going at it again is Hildebrand, tackled, and a free kick for the Lions. Hildebrand flicks it wide. They're just going to milk the clock here, just
As directed by Katie Brennan.
Conan.
All about it.
To a contest, going at it a couple of times was Ashmore. Couldn't quite bring it down. Hickey. Ashmore will get a free. Push in the back. Everything's going the Lions' way suddenly. Ashmore from Melbourne Uni, originally from Ballarat, one of the 2 Victorians in this team. 22 out of the 27 on their list are from Queensland.
Definitely not intentional by Caitlin Ashmore, but a great result for the Brisbane Lions there.
And of course, round 2 next weekend. Katie, we're going to see you in action. You'll run out, lead the Doggies on Friday night against the Crows. So the 2 winners from this weekend, Whitten Oval, and then it's Carlton at Icon Park. And Kate Sheed, your Magpies meant to play at Olympic Park, but we are hearing it could become a double header at Icon Park.
Yeah, we heard it might be moved, which would be terrific for the competition because maybe we're going to get another big crowd.
So we're counting down here, a couple of minutes to play. Demons right up against it. Still, they're going to battle it out.
Really great numbers by the Lions here. They've got 3-on-1 and just working the footy around, even these wet conditions. Great hand skills.
Katie, who was your pick at the start of, I mean, obviously you play for the Western Bulldogs, but who did the Western Bulldogs feel was the biggest threat coming into the comp?
I guess I can't speak for the Western Bulldogs, but I'll speak for myself. And you know, I definitely backed Melbourne coming into this game, not underestimating the Lions' outfit and the quality of player that they have in their team. I just, you know, just with the leadership of the Melbourne group and those young guns coming through, like your Jazzy Grierson and the Lily Mifflin that we just saw. But yeah, it's the conditions have suited the Brisbane Lions better, and they're coming through with the goods. It's very impressive to see them getting on top of Melbourne.
That's impressive by the marquee player, Harris. She has got a thumping kick on her as well, and she gives it a real roost. It'll land at the top of the goal square. Picked up looking for a quick snap was Zilke. And the Demons threw Downey an awkward-looking kick. Is it effective? No, Harris goes again, flies in from the side. Working hard is one of the smallest players out there in Smith. Now Anderson.
That was great defensive pressure by Taylor Harris.
And really good option to kick it long to the square. She had a few opportunities to honour that small lead, but in these conditions, you just want to get it in quick and get it in long.
So the Demons have kicked just one goal for, and that goal came from Jasmine Grierson at the 11-minute mark of the second term. It has been a real tough initiation for them at home here at Casey Fields. Not the ideal conditions. And for the Brisbane Lions, they arrived here yesterday. No one gave them a chance, and they will return home. It'll be a pretty happy flight from Melbourne back to Brisbane. They've got the Dockers in Perth next week. It's a tough draw for them.
Melbourne are out here. They need to wheel and go.
Seconds ticking down to the final siren.
Oh.
And that is the definition of winning ugly. The Brisbane Lions produced the first upset in the AFL women's competition, upstaging the highly rated Ds in the ultimate test, the toughest conditions. It's the Lions by 15 points. So the Brisbane Lions kicking 2 goals in that last quarter, and that'll have the